Crisis.
Hey everyone, welcome to Mid-Geek Crisis, episode 35. My name is Joe, the Afro Man.
It's Pedro Cautious Online. There's always like a moment of pause where you go from countdown to
Yes.
hey everyone, and I'm always
I have to do the pause because if I don't do the pause when I do the edit, it's hard.
No, I get it. It's just
like,
it always throws me off.
Then if I go 3, 2, 1, go, and then I immediately cut like with a cut in is so abrupt.
Right. No, I get it. I'm sure our fans wouldn't mind a 3, 2, 1, right? They don't.
3, 2, 1. Anyway,
at least one of our fans would prefer that to our heretofore.
One of us. The one person that watches us for sure. We're echo
Anyway, welcome back, episode 35.
Yeah. I counted wrong last episode. I don't even know what I was on. I was drinking, whatever, But yeah, this is actually episode 35.
Thank you for keeping track.
What's going on this week, man? This week's been slow. It's been post E3. I've been playing some games. I ran through the DLC for Borderlands finally. I kind of sat down and played that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I gave you some words for that. Doing on your own.
Yeah. We were gonna play it together, and we just haven't had time scheduling and whatnot.
And Joe, being like the kid on Christmas, couldn't wait to open his box and play with it before the rest of the family showed up. Right. So,
to be fair, I ran through the main story, and there's a lot of side quests that I haven't done, which I'm interested in doing. So,
I'm leveling up right now. As I thought I had transferred my cloud save when I used the Xbox 360.
That's the problem that I'm having with my Xbox save right now. I turned on my PC one, and Steam, I guess, does cloud save. So as soon as I loaded up, I had a 75 Gunzerker, and I was like, "Oh crap!" And I jumped in, and this character was like completely loaded, and then the DLC was like 60, like it didn't match 100%. So the moment I went in there, I was like one-shotting most things.
You were crushing it, yeah.
I was crushing it. So it was kind of like Game Genie run. Like it literally, I was running in bosses, and I would switch to guns that were spec'd less than, because I have overpower level.
Trying to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, I know.
So I switched to I bought vending machine guns to start off, like level 50 guns, just to kind of max out that moment, and then I would like shoot, and then it was weird. So I had to kind of like dial myself down so that I wouldn't get.
That's fair. Yeah. I'm starting a new character, playing the soldier.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I almost played the Necromancer, but I was like, no, that's advanced.
You think it's advanced? You think the Necromancer is too advanced?
No, I think it's just a different kind of character style. I just want to blast through it. So right now I'm just blasting through it. The hardest part for me is resisting the urge to max all the Chivos again. Like, even as I'm going, I'm like, oh, I'm totally a Vault of the Cult, whatever it is.
Right, because you get double Chivos now because it's a
completely different game. So I can score all those Chivos and knock them out. And I'm just like, that's going to be a long
That's
time.
going to make me want to play it then, because I really would want some of those Chivos, because I did get a lot of the Chivos for the first game.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I forgot how funny the music was, and it looks gorgeous in the new instant. So I was thrilled that pack came in. They updated. I'm like, oh my god, this looks so much better.
It's a game that could have come out last week, and it wouldn't have.
Yeah, and it plays smooth, and I forgot how much fun the reloading is, and how stupid the jokes are. It's a great game. I really enjoy it.
I'm not sad about playing an old game again. Which is
when I killed one of the bandits, and one of the other bandits shouts like, I didn't like that guy anyway. I couldn't help but laugh. Like the interactions you have with
There's some new shouting in the DLC for sure. There's some new audio.
I feel like I don't remember them being this clever with their shouts. So
yeah, they have some new shouts, some new things that I'd never heard before. So I thought that was interesting.
I'm online playing it every so often. If anybody's out there wants to join my level 9 and just blast through the story, right? That's what I'm doing. Doing enough side quests to keep up with the story quests.
So that was something that I forgot about Borderlands. The drop in, drop out in mid campaign.
So easy.
It's so easy. More games need this. I didn't even realize it. I was playing the DLC, and I was playing on Steam, and I don't usually play a lot of my shooters like that unless it's like Doom or something, but Borderlands is really fun on PC because I can really get twitchy with the mouse and keyboard controls. So I was running through it, and all of a sudden it said a friend of mine joined the game, like an old Steam buddy, like an old friend. All of a sudden it just says, Horde joins the game. And I was like, what? I was like, holy crap. And I waited, and all of a sudden, like, it does the difficulty adjustment, and then he spawned, and all of a sudden I see a necromancer show up, and I was like, "Holy crap! There's another player who just jumped into my game."
And it's so easy and nice, and like it's great. I mean,
everything adjusts, the loot adjusts. I pick up loot, and all of a sudden he's getting loot as well.
I don't know why there's not a lot of games that even have cooperative co-op, and even when they have sort of cooperative style games, the drop-in is actually real difficult. I don't get it. Rainbow Six Siege, for example, requires you to actually log out and log back in even when you're playing the computer. I don't get it.
It's a good engine, so hopefully all of that is. I can only imagine Borderlands 3 being exactly the same and more. I haven't heard. The only thing that will make
they just stuff more and more worlds.
The only thing I am is on my wish list, and I feel like they're holding back because, again, they said this is the year of Borderlands, and they're kind of like slowly releasing the info. If they give me cross-play platform, I don't even need multiplayer, but just cross-play save. Beautiful. That's what I want.
Cross-play save would be great. Yeah, I mean, and with Microsoft,
I'm not expecting me on a PlayStation
their games, right?
An Xbox, or me on a PC and you on the Xbox. I'm just wanting to play the game on my PC, and then you go, "Hey, let's play," and I go, "Oh, hold on," and it links to my Gearbox account or whatever, and my save is up there, and I hop over to my Xbox and I turn it on, and boom, my character, and I can pick up right where I left off.
Why wouldn't it link to your Xbox account, right? Because
well, whatever, yeah. I mean, whatever it is, but Gearbox has its own system, kind of like Fortnite with Epic.
They got that shift stuff, yeah.
It's so that way, the shift code and all that. So they give me that. If they announce that before the game launches, that's it. It's the perfect game for me because it is exactly what I want, and I'll be able to play it on any console. And I'm already one of those guys that buys Borderlands on everything because I have friends on everything. So being able to just jump in and play a little bit of the campaign,
not have to reboot every single time. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then it's always that moment where you pick up a gun or a shield or something, and you're like, "Oh, I put it on my character," and then you're trying to play that same character again on another because you enjoy it. And you can't clear it; doesn't match, and you forget what's in what backpack. It's a mess.
No, I totally. Cross saves are clutch. I don't know why we don't have more of them, especially since it seems like Xbox is uniting that all. Microsoft is uniting that all anyway. So you might be right. That might be the big. As they leak out all these news, that might be the big deal. I think. I mean, just from a business perspective, I can't believe how well they are teasing out this launch and keeping the hype train just fueled to the max. Like I'm not a hype guy. I'm not really a guy who gets hyped, right? But I am hyped for this game because I've been playing an old game. I would never do that.
I know. So guys, if you're not familiar with the 35 episodes prior, Mr. Pedro Cautious Clay here is not a retro gamer. He is the type of person, and he's mentioned this in a few episodes ago, where he plays a game, he's done with it, and he literally tosses it over his shoulder into the street. The car run over it because he doesn't care. He moves on.
I look at you. You're useless now, Gabe.
Living in the now. So, like, he's not about a person that plays a game. I've asked him before. I'm like, hey, it's nice for me because then I just like go over his house and take all his old games, and he doesn't care.
It doesn't work anymore because I've gone pretty much 100% digital, so there's not even games for me to give away. But yeah. So I mean, like 2 weeks ago, right after we recorded last week, I beat Void Bastards.
Okay.
And I uninstalled it. I was like, oh, beat it, done.
I mean, you're like, hey, we're not going to play any co-op multiplayer, nothing like that. You're just like done.
Well, it's not. It's a single-player roguelike, right? So there's not really much. And the Chivos, I looked at the Chivos, and a lot of them are like, I don't want to use the word unreasonable, but they're going to demand more of my effort than I'm willing to put into it. So I just uninstalled it.
No equal opportunity here for equal exchange.
They would just like beat the game using only bombs, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. That's for a first-person shooter. I'm not going to do that. But it's I talked about it before. Great game, fast, really fun, interesting. roguelike first-person shooter. Really goofy story. I enjoyed it immensely. I loved everything about it. I love going from ship to ship and fighting and coming back and trying to build supplies and managing your fuel and food to last long enough. I like that when you died, you respawn with a new character right away with new abilities, and you had to adjust to that new play style. I like that feeling of like risk but not risk. Like I wouldn't lose all my progress. I just lose the character I got used to playing, and that feels like the right kind of roguelike for my casual gaming style. A great game. And then and then I put on Borderlands 2, and I'm like, man, I only play Division 2 on Sundays now, and I'm just really enjoying playing Borderlands 2.
All right. Well, that's good. Then maybe I'll hop in during the middle of the week and just kind of jump into your game, since that seems to be the way.
Yeah, no. When I'm online, just jump on and don't even text me. Just jump on. I'll be like, sweet, let's fucking rock this out.
Yeah.
And I should say, I'm also playing Lego Star Wars with R. And
okay.
Now that it's summer, we're playing it every single day, and it's a blast now that I've chilled out. I will fully admit that game is real punishing for two players who aren't working well together.
Right.
And
that's one of the reasons I've so Connell and me have run in through Avengers Lego,
sure.
And I don't know. I feel like each Lego game has kind of been, you can tell where the time, like where they've improved and not. So Lego Star Wars is some of the earlier ones. And
it's like 12 years old, dude. 2007.
Right. So
this is the complete saga. So it's 6 movies.
Right. So it's the 6 movies. They are re-releasing it kind of in the new one. They're
with new content.
Apparently they've changed up the gameplay a bit. So they've made it so that it's quality of life, QOL upgrades,
things the camera angles, things like you can separate off the screen.
So that stuff. So you can't do that in Star Wars, right? So if you separate off the screen, there's a moment where you hit an invisible wall.
So depending on how you separate, right? Like when she runs off to the edge, I'm like, I'm trying to go this way, and you kind of just run into the walls. Or if she falls off something and drops down a level, I get logged out. So I have to press start to log back in, and then I'll appear next to her. So I get the time.
Oh wow! Maybe
this is still friendly, but it doesn't break you up. It doesn't allow you to explore separately.
Yeah, Avengers does the camera separate.
Yeah, where they split the screen on you.
Split the screen, but it's so jarring to me. I think it's worse. I don't know if it's better or it's worse. Because you're playing, and all of a sudden you're looking at a part of the screen, and all of a sudden it just shrinks on you, or it goes away.
It does that weird like line through the screen,
and then depending on what part of the screen they're at, the screen like turns, so the line kind of like moves around. It just drives me bananas, and I'm like, Connell, get over here! I can't see that button. Straight up.
You're like, I remember doing this with my brother. What? So like, I've taken to doing this. I've taken to taking the paddle and just putting it down
and waiting,
and be like, just let me know when you're done doing what you're doing. And then God bless her, she gets all upset. She's like, what am I doing? And I'm like, you're doing whatever you want to do. Just let me know when you're done, and then we can go and get these coins or solve this puzzle to get the other things. And then she'll come back. If she refuses to ever come back, I go, okay. Daddy's going to log out and do other things when you want to play together and work together, because this is a teamwork game.
Right.
This is a teamwork game. We got to work as a team. Then we can do that. And she's like, no, I'll come back. So, to my great shame, well, I should say, to my great love, she only wants to play R2-D2. To my great shame, her second choice is Jar Jar Binks.
Wow, dude. What have you? I question your.
Really? This weirds you out because
this is.
She is the proud scion of a family of trolls, right? So why wouldn't she play Jar Jar Binks and only Jar Jar Binks?
Oh my God! Is there audio? Is there a lot of misas and?
No, there isn't the annoying audio, but there is the moments where you need 2 Jedi to do a puzzle, and she does this amazing thing where I'm like, okay, kiddo, you gotta switch to a Jedi. And she's like, well, why doesn't Jar Jar have powers? And
because
and my beautiful wife of 17 years from nowhere. She wasn't even in the room. Comes from the background. She's like, "Yeah,
why doesn't he have? I know her well enough.
Jar Jar should have powers, right? I mean, because he was the Sith Lord behind the whole thing." And I'm like, "Oh God, I can't." No court would convict. No court would convict, right? But so it becomes this like amazing trolling, and I think R gets a lot of enjoyment out of that. Me doing like, oh, like she likes that, right? She likes that reaction of her father. Yeah, no, it's great. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. How could I not? I mean, she's trolling at like a 11-year-old level now.
I'm gonna have to just send a switch. That way.
No, I don't. It's on the list, man. I've got like 3 different saving buckets, and money goes into each one, and each one's accumulating at different rates.
The stories of you two playing Super Mario Brothers U Switch or whatever is the co-op one, and
it should be interesting
because if you're not familiar with, if you've seen videos of it or whatnot, but Mario, that version of the game is 4-player, right? So you can have 4 players on the same screen. And in this version, the remake from the Wii U onward, they brought it back. They kind of, made it for the Switch, and they added a couple characters. The Nabbit, which is a character from that one. He's like a purple rabbit-looking dude who is invincible, so he can run through all the enemies, and he can also like pick up power-ups and put them into his like sack or whatever. But he can't. He's called the Nabbit, as in like a robber or a thief. He nabs things, and so in the original version of the game, there was levels where he would like kidnap someone, put him in like a big sack, and then run. And he's running faster than you, so you have to go back and play a level to catch him, kind of like a speed run thing. And then when you'd catch him, he'd release the character, and you'd get like a bonus. So they added him as he's not a bad character; he's just kind of like a curious character. So they added him as a playable character for easiest mode, and makes him so that he runs through all the villains because the villains don't attack him. And he can stomp on villains, or he can run right through Goombas and nothing hurts him. The only way he dies, though, is if he falls down a pit.
Which, of course.
Right. So then there's the easy mode, which is the Toadette. And Toadette, she's just like a regular Toad until she grabs the princess crown, and then she turns into like a Princess Peach character that kind of floats and has a double jump. So she also is kind of a little OP.
I think I'm familiar with the Princess Crown.
Yeah, there's all sorts of memes.
Ran the rounds on
the memes with Bowser putting it on, which created the Bowsette meme and whatever. But also this version of Mario, if you've played other versions of Mario's can run through each other. They don't affect each other normally, except with this version. This version is where if one person's standing on a block and you jump and try to like land on that block, because
you push them off.
Either you don't push them off or you hit them and then you go down. So they're like standing on a block that you need to jump on and you can't. Or you end up jumping on top of them, which causes like you bouncing off of them and they're like, ow, you can't get off of them. It's a mess. So like there's all sorts of, there's like,
I'll tell you what,
I mean, the amount of rage when you're trying to make a jump and your kiddo's like, and then jumps in front of you or like takes a power up from you or just like it is, and they know what they're doing.
It sounds delicious. It sounds delicious, actually. I mean, from a trolling perspective, sounds delicious. I mean, I don't remember what puzzle. Maybe we were on the Death Star. There was a puzzle we were doing, and it required like you to walk to the edge and then jump across a gap that you could fall off of. And I swear, R would wait till I was about to jump and then bump into me and knock me off, because you can bump just slightly, not a lot. You can't push a character, but it's just like excuse me, and then just fall off. And when I fall off, I'm like, what did you do? And she's just laughing. She's just like, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
So I have to like,
and then you lose a bunch of gold coins.
And I was going for True Jedi, so losing the gold coins is driving me.
And then you don't get them back because they fell down a pit. You can't recollect them. Oh no.
You remember all the drama. So I'm going to admit this. A little cautious confessional. I put in the code for 10x coins just so that I could let go of the True Jedi and we just score all the coins. It fills up faster. We leave the level with like 200,000 coins. Just because I was like, I don't want to fight about True Jedi anymore with her. it's not really fun anyway, chasing down all those bits for her. So
It's not. It isn't like because I'm fastidious about it. Like I
gotta get
run
every single.
and I'm like, well, not only that, every room I run into, I'm like, okay, break this, break this, break this. There's a crate, throw it. Oh, that plant. Oh, it's breakable. Everything's breakable. Break everything. So you're breaking everything to get these stupid blue and gold blue stuff. What do they call? They have a specific name, like stubs or nubs or whatever.
Studs.
Studs. All the studs. You're picking them all up, and then eventually, Connell's just trying to run out the level. He's trying to move on. And I get him, but then this is the Skyrim mentality of like, I need 50.
I need all the broomsticks.
I know the broomsticks. That's exactly right. All the broomsticks. You can't walk out of this room without taking the broomstick.
And so I had to let it go. Like it becomes this sort of like, you don't need all the broomsticks.
Right. You don't need the 99 downs.
There are no broomsticks, right? You just have to let it go. And so putting the 10X makes it easier. You
hit the moment and it glows and it goes boom.
It happens like with 10X, it happens within the first 4 minutes of a level. So the first room, you break all the stuff and it's done.
But does that limit? I'm guessing the achievements aren't locking user.
So I looked. It's funny you ask because I looked it up online and it does not. Because I agonized, I was like, "Is it going to ruin my achievements?" No, because I don't know if you remember, but in the complete saga, you can either earn the bricks to buy the cheat and unlock the cheat, or if you went online and found a code. So there was a six letter code that you can play around with until you can get it, and that's how you could unlock all the cheats. So I call them cheats, but they're called extras. So I just grabbed the 10X one. I already had the 2X one, so I was buying.
I'm wondering because you know what? I'm such a purist / not cheater when it comes down to that kind of stuff that I don't think I've. It's not your fault. I forget that. I forgot the days of cheats. Right.
I mean, for our listeners, 15 minutes ago, Joe mentioned the Game Genie. So let's just.
What I'm saying here, folks,
let's go BS on that.
I forgot the days of where you could actually put in something and it gives you something back. Nowadays, it's you want that? Pay 99 cents, microtransaction.
Buy the super power card,
or buy the season pass, or you want this skin? Buy it. No longer the day of play the game. There was a whole article recently. GameRanks did one with like 5 best unlockables in a game that you didn't buy, and one of them I remember was the Hayabusa mask for Halo, the ninja samurai looking helmet. The different helmets, they were different ranks. You have to get all the skulls in the game and whatnot. And I was like, oh man, you're right. They don't do that anymore. That's a costume piece that you would only get, and you'd walk around. You'd have the flaming Hayabusa in multiplayer, and be like, oh, you found all the skulls. That's awesome. Now it's like, oh, you spent $20 on on stuff to get it. So yeah, I mean, yes.
Oh, you didn't spend $20 default.
Yeah, default. Yeah, run around the default. And then dab.
Hey, listen, yeah.
So
and
the fact that game has a code, I'm wondering if the newer Lego ones have those things.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it. I think the Complete Saga might be the last one that had those inputtable codes to get cheats. In fact,
because I would go sit down and I haven't finished the Avengers game with him because there's moments I'm like, it's getting harder and harder. The bosses are getting harder and harder, and I'm like, oh, this is
if only there was a way to buy invincibility and just move beyond it, right?
Yeah, just so they can enjoy the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had it, man, because this one even had inputtable codes, so up, down, down. You can even do that, and I'm
gonna have to take a look.
Take a look online. I mean, here's the amazing thing: the game is so old that there was a text-based game FAQ walkthrough, right, with ASCII art and how to do it. I'm like, 2007 wasn't even that long ago, but yeah. It's still game facts from back in the day.
Yeah, game facts was the jam.
That was the jam.
I remember game facts even back in high school. Well, 2000.
So did you go there to protest because people were finding cheats? Is that what you were there for?
No, I went on there. And I would always go on there, and immediately after a Japanese version of a game came out, like Final Fantasy VIII, for example, came out in Japan almost a year before it came out in the US. We imported it from our local import shop and we bought it. And then there was a guy back in the day playing it and also knew Japanese, and he
Immediately
put up the text translation constantly, menu translate, like do this and this means this means this. So
that's awesome.
So you would pull up a translation. So you had your guy, and you get to a spot. You're like, okay, you're in this city. Okay, and you're talking to this. He's saying this. So second choice first. Okay, boom. Okay, that's what he's saying. So let's move on. I get it. So you're piecing the story together through bad translations.
Oh my God, it's like archaeological dig.
Right. That's exactly what you were doing. So it was
the secret text on the game facts.
Exactly. But you get to a point where those translations will then have revisions.
Yeah.
And like,
that's right, yeah.
So at the top of the fact, it would always tell you updated on this date, added this or added this.
Yeah. He translated as lake, but it should be river, and you can go from there, things like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
I can take it. That's really cool. Very intense. All your bases are ours. Is that how it goes? All your bases are mine. Are mine, right? Is that it? The poor translation matrix back in the day.
Yeah. All your bases belong to us.
Oh yeah, the bases belong to us. That's it. I'm 10,000 years old. That's why I'm forgetting things, everybody. So. So anyway, I'm really enjoying it.
It's great. This is great because we don't talk about our kids more often.
And I don't want to pimp the Xbox Pass again, but there's like 100 Lego games on there that I can just download now if she's enjoying it. Although my next one I'm going to try. Right, I'm going to try it. I haven't tried it yet. Guacamelee 2 is on the Xbox Pass, so I downloaded it. Couch co-op game. I figured I'd try and see if she can figure out, because I'm
Brother,
when we first
that's brutal.
It's brutal, right? But when we first started playing Lego Star Wars, she could not jump on a ledge without crying. Like she just couldn't handle it. Like getting the right 3D. So I'm wondering if now she's ready for a perfect platformer like Guacamelee. That's all. I mean, it's 95% skill based. So all she has to do is develop the skills, right?
Right.
So,
well, she was also playing Celeste, which is very similar to Guacamelee in the button.
She was playing Celeste without the dying mode, right? Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So, and I don't know if Guacamelee has anything like that. So
that's fine because I'm there. I can help, right? Because we can couch co-op it. I'm hoping. I know it has an easy mode, right?
Also, Guacamelee has the same thing where you get to the end of the level, and then if you walk out of it, it warps the other player over, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that might help. So you can kind of go through it, and yes.
I think we can manage. We'll play it on easy mode. We'll figure it. And if not, whatever. We'll find some other game we can play together, right? But she's excited to play, and now that it's summer. She's allowed to play after summer camp now since she's not at school. There's video games during the week and things like that. So every day she's like, "Can we play?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I got to make dinner after dinner." So that's
I hear you, man.
Half an hour.
So two things. I think this is a great conversation that we're having with our kids because it is summer. So it is officially the beginning of summer now, and our kids are all at home and playing more games and whatnot. And two things. One, we talked about this through text message, but my kiddo was playing and just beat Spider-Man on PlayStation 4.
That's amazing.
I am at shock. I'm proud papa in a way, and at the same time, like completely in awe. And so what's funny is I popped the game in the first time. It's definitely the more complex of a video game for him. Mm-hmm. And so he was having a little trouble, like kind of like traversing a Spider-Man, whipping around and whatnot. And like 2 days later, I walk in because I let him play and just walk away for a little bit. I come back in and he's sitting on the couch and he's like, "Oh, I got a mission." And he's like following the arrow, the waypoint because it's an open map. And I see him like jump off a building, freaking like, somersault, like twip, and he's like doing flips and he's running up the side of buildings. And I'm like, "Whoa, buddy! Like you got the control scheme now." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like,
"Shut up, Dad."
He's like, "Oh, hold on." And he's like, my apartment's nearby. He flips over to the closer apartment. He runs in, and I guess in the apartment you can switch suit. And so unlocking, and I see he was unlocking. He's got like 90% of all the Spider-Man suits unlocked, and I'm like, "Whoa, okay." And yeah, he's like, "Oh, this one's cool, Dad. Check it out." He puts it on. It's like the white Future Foundation suit because it's all the suits from all the different versions of Spider-Man.
Sure. The multiverse
and whatnot, all the different variations and the different variations of teams he's been on. Like the white one with Black Spider and White Eyes is his Future Foundation, which is when he was part of the Fantastic Four a couple years back. And so they all remember that. I guess what is it? Johnny Storm was dead for a while, and so they instead of becoming Fantastic Four, they became the Future Foundation, and so Spider-Man joined them as another.
Wasn't there also kids in the Future Foundation?
Right, and then it was Franklin Richards, and and a bunch of other. So yeah, it's fun, but he's like learning about this all and playing, and so he beat the game, and then when he beat the game, I heard the credits. He's like, "Dad, I beat it!" And I'm cooking downstairs. And I was like, "Holy crap! You're right. I hear the credits and whatnot." And then after he was done, he's like, "So I'm done." I'm like, "No, there's all sorts of stuff." And then now he's like learning to like unlock more stuff, go through and like
get more Chivos.
More Chivos. That's what he's doing, or trophies in the PlayStation world. But yes, that's exactly what he's doing.
Good for him. That's awesome.
So I'm very proud. I'm very proud because it's definitely more. It's not adult. There's no cussing or anything, but I mean, there's definitely like it's a level.
It's tough too because you got to like follow the quest, right? There's like missions, and you got to at least react. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We didn't get to play any board games this weekend. We got a little busy, but what we did do tonight is we went to dinner just real close to the gym, and afterwards, there's a boba place, a tea shop, and they've got board games. Not nice, spectacular, but they had Battleship. Yeah.
Go on.
And I gave him a crash course in Battleship, and he got it, man. Like it was.
Did
fun.
He really? That's awesome.
It's like we set him up, and I'm like, "All right, buddy, you put yours. Don't show me where they're at." And then I'm like, "Okay, said mine, and I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna call out a letter in a row, and you're gonna match, and you're gonna put it on the peg and whatnot." So we went through, and dude, he was getting it. It took him a little bit, like the strategy. It's kind of like the Minesweeper strategy of like you hit me once, and then you're like, no, buddy, don't pick another number out there. You hit me. So obviously you hit a ship.
Pick around it, up, down, left, right, because you know it's
left, right, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, he got it!" And he sunk 4 out of 5 of them. So I mean, all it means.
You must be terrible at Battleship.
No, he took him a while to find a few of them.
The trick is to only put 3 ships on your board.
He did make a mistake, and it is sort of his fault. He accidentally bumped his table after I would have already sunk one, and I didn't remember where to put it, so he put it somewhere else.
Nice.
Which so he didn't realize it. He didn't understand what dynamic that would change. So he moved one of his ships up top instead of being in the middle where it was. And so on my map, I'm picking around the spots, and I'm like, buddy, you've got a 4-hit ship left, and I've nuked every little spot around it where you can't fit a 4 ship. Where is it? Eventually, I picked it and I found it. I'm like, oh no, buddy, you marked one as you moved one over. Like it caused my math to be all off. But
right.
I won, but it was only because of that. But he got it, man. He was only like 2 hits away. It was a 3-1. He hit me once, but then he was picking around the wrong way, and I'm like,
and you're like, I must destroy him quickly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's good.
Teach humility.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's fun, man. We don't we haven't played a board game in a little bit. I wonder why. I don't know. I guess I've been proposing it, but nothing beats Lego Star Wars, I think is what's happening
right now. Yeah, well, of course. No, nothing beats Lego Star Wars.
Not even Harry Potter Wizards Unite, which I thought we could at least go outside and play, and she's just like, I'd rather play Lego Star Wars. And I'm like, kid, I can't argue with you because I'd rather do that too. So,
so how you liking it? I'm a little indifferent on it. It's it maybe because I'm used to the Pokemon Go style. I mean, if for our listeners out there, the new hotness right now is Niantic and Warner Brothers Games put out a Harry Potter. This game had been rumored for a while, and it's essentially Pokemon Go with a Harry Potter skin. But there's a couple of differences, right? Like there's definitely more combat. You're actually fighting like things. You're fighting even wizards with specific movements. It's not just like the flick.
You're like conquering fortresses. It's like
conquering fortresses. There's definitely one thing that is definitely harder is playing Harry Potter and then playing Pokemon. Pokemon, you can walk in or whatever. You see a gym or whatever, and you just spin. You spin a Pokestop, you get your stuff, and you walk off. Mm-hmm. On the Harry Potter one, you tap on it, and there's like a little mini thing where it hides things, and then you like. It's just it's a lot more. So in the morning,
hard to play on the bus when I commute.
Right. That's the thing.
So I pass by a ton of like they call them inns and houses and fortresses, and there's like only two, and I figured them out. There's two corners that I have enough time to click on a fortress and beat a level before the bus gets out of range.
Yeah, because once it's out of range, and it gives you a message saying you're no longer...
You're out of range, you can't go any further. And the same thing with the green. There's like one greenhouse, but someone else is always in that greenhouse planting their stuff, and I'm like, oh, so like I have to find a greenhouse of my own somewhere.
What profession did you pick?
I picked zoologist because
animals.
R likes to do animals, right? So that's what
I picked professor because I like living that poor life.
Sure. Yeah. Plus, when I walk through the neighborhood, I've got a lot of parks and like overgrown areas, and all of them said they had animals in it, and I'm like, oh, I may as well take advantage of that area. So I try to play strategically, but it really is like, what would I call it? It's called bars, like the filling of bars. Like it really is like all I do is capture something, a bar fills up, a bunch of coins pop out.
Right.
Another bar fills up, and I'm like, man, I am filling a lot of bars. I don't really feel like I'm... And some of the story's interesting, but it's hard to read the story when you're on the move. I wish it was more voice, you know?
Yeah.
I wish I could just listen to it.
For sure. Which is because you don't play Pokemon Go, right?
No, never.
And that might be one, like if you're like you play games on the road or whatnot, if you don't have a DS or whatnot, you're still playing that sort of game. Pokemon Go, it gives you that satisfaction of like getting to a spot, spinning it, you know, and then like encountering. And what's nice about Pokemon Go is if you stop and a Pokemon appears, you tap on the Pokemon, and if you move away, like you're on the bus, the Pokemon won't disappear because you moved out of range.
Well, Harry Potter's like that too.
Yeah, it's
only on the inns and the other. It's only on like actual locations that it. Once you tap on the monster, you're good to go. And I'm also, how you say, like I am so over games that microtransaction you to death.
Right.
And this game, like I've already hit my inventory limit. I hit my spell limit.
So with Pokemon Go,
so many limits, and I'm just like,
I'm impressed with the way Pokemon Go does it. Is they have gold coins, right? Anything costs money, so you can.
Same thing with Wizards Unite.
Right. The only difference is, and maybe it's exactly the same as Wizards Unite. Just haven't found a way yet. But on Pokemon, if let's say for example, I've got a Pokestop right here in the corner at the gym, and a Pokestop right here in the corner park, and your faction or your so I'm red, I'm Valor, and there's a blue, and then there's yellow, right? And I guess in Harry Potter's going to be 4, Slytherin and the rest of the houses.
Yep.
So
by the way, I'm House Slytherin to the surprise of no one.
You're what?
House Slytherin.
Of course you are. Of course you are. I would have picked no different. Of course you're Slytherin.
Of course.
I'm Gryffindor, of course.
Lame, you're a Hufflepuff. We both know you're a Hufflepuff.
Nope. I've actually, according to Pottermore and answering the questions multiple times,
until you got Gryffindor. I know.
No. You can only do it once. And I answered as truthfully as possible.
From multiple IP addresses till I got my Gryffindor.
But those spots, so you can defend your gym by dropping like a Pokemon on there, and then other people from your team drop other Pokemon, which makes it a team of 5.
Sure.
But once you've got the 5, it's a combined team, and so the only way you can clear out a full team is if one person sits there and like battles them like a billion times over to clear out the team, or like 3 or 4 people show up and they do that. But as your Pokemon stays there for a while, there's a daily limit. If you hit, I think it's like 5 hours or so. If your Pokemon stays there for 5 hours, you get 50 coins.
Oh,
50 coins is your daily limit. So for one day, you can get 50, and things are like 100 coins. Like a bag upgrade is 100.
Right. That's what I realized. They're relatively cheap.
So it's relatively cheap, and you get some back. So even if you don't give them any money, if you really invest time in the game by playing, by dropping like multiple gyms or whatnot, putting a couple Pokemon here and there, getting equivalent to 5 hours or so out of the multiple gyms, getting your 50 coins daily, you hit your daily max. In a week, you can make, in a 5-day week, you make 250 coins, which
that's
is
enough for an inventory upgrade,
upgrade or whatever. So
honestly,
that's surprising to me for a mobile game. Most of these games don't give you even that option. They would never. They would give you like silver currency to buy something, but the only gold currency can be used to buy these upgrades.
But they know that their money's going to come from the whales who can't wait. Right. That's the tricky part, and I kind of feel uncomfortable with that. But I do know that there's a park near me. Don't tell anybody. But I'm the only person who's attacked that fortress 3 days in a row now. So that fortress is going to be mine. I don't know what happens, right? I'm on the 3rd level of the fortress as of tomorrow. I'll be in the 4th. And so we'll see what happens. I'll let you know. I think there's 6 levels in this fortress. All the parks, there's a lot of parks. I'm in like ritzy suburban neighborhood. There's a lot of little tiny parks. And because I'm in central New York, there's a lot of little tiny plaques everywhere.
Oh, yeah, right.
So those little plaques are...
So again, fun fact, and most people that do know this, is Pokemon Go kind of gave everybody the data for this game. So all of the Pokestops are the inns, and then all of the gyms are the...
Oh, interesting. All right, yeah. So maybe I should take some Poke maps and see what's going on, what's close.
You could pull it up, and
I'm kind of figuring out all the churches nearby, and then they're like museums and art places are like...
any big centralized spot. Starbucks are spots.
Yeah. Can you petition to become a spot? Because I'm sort of surprised that there's places...
Some businesses can. There is a way. You can contact Niantic and then become like a spot if you're like a business, or you have a landmark or something. Like, for example, the Quaker sign out by Snappy's.
Oh, all right.
That's a Pokestop, so you can spin it to get something. Yeah. It's a Pokestop, so which means that it's probably an inn for you.
Yeah, and I go by on the bus, because I work downtown, right? I go by like a billion locations, right. And then the further I get away from downtown Syracuse, the more I'm like, oh no, there's less and less things.
Yeah, so I'm guessing
the university's great. The
university's great, and Clinton Square.
Yep.
Those statues are probably spots or gyms. There's probably a gym there, like a fortress.
Inns and fortresses.
Right.
Yeah, Syracuse is lousy with fortresses, so. But it's good fun. I don't know.
It's the game of the summer. What's nice? It's getting a bunch of people that don't really game. Like, as soon as it came out, all the intellectuals and the Potterheads and whatnot came out of the woodwork and were like installing this game. And I'm like, all right, I'll take your friend code. So and so that has never played a video game ever.
So what does a friend code give you?
So you put the friend code, and there's quests in the game. So you get 5 friends, and it gives you like unlock stuff. But
all right,
at the same time, later on, I'm guessing just like Pokemon, you're going to be able to trade stuff and do things. And like on Pokemon Go, you can send gifts. So Adam plays, and he's actually higher level than me because he
walks everywhere.
Walks everywhere, but he picks up.
He's also a little compulsive. Let's be honest.
Yeah, of course.
We love you, Adam.
He spins like the Pokestops and whatnot, and you get these gifts, and then you hold on to them. You can have 10 max, and then you have to send those to friends. When you open up a package, you get like XP stuff. That's Stardust is what you use to level up a Pokemon, and like Pokeballs and potions and whatnot. You get like a few. So as you trade them, you become bigger friends, which gives you more bonuses. There's all sorts of like ins and outs of like a community game. Well, Pokemon Go, remember, it was the big community thing.
I know. And like, people still play it, right? So
it's only gotten better, and that's what's great is the hype died down. The people, the people that didn't want to really invest the time in it went away, and now the game has gotten where there's daily raid or weekly raids, weekly events. It's distilled the community enough that.
Are you paying attention? Wizards of the Coast.
Right.
Sorry. Harry Potter's a nice property, but like...
Yeah, man. Just let me
Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars. Imagine an AR Star Wars game.
Let's write it for him here. So you've got 4 houses in Harry Potter. You have 3 teams on Pokemon Go. Let's make it 5 for Dungeons and Dragons. As you'd have like Rogue, Fighter, Wizard, Cleric.
You really only need 4.
Yeah, and we need one more. We need like maybe a bard just to kind of throw it all together,
just to make everyone set.
Yeah. And so once you've got all these 5, those are your 5. And you'd have like guilds.
And you make up 4. They have factions already. There's Zentarum, the Lords Alliance, and the Harpers. Right? It's easy to pull those factions in, and then boom, you've got 3 factions, 4 classes.
3 factions, 4 classes. A world with tons of data already because of Pokemon Go. You can make them inns or make them caves or make them whatever. You spin them, and then the monsters are overtaking you. You make random encounters, and you fight.
Oh God, can you imagine how amazing you get loot, and you can trade in that loot for like better loot? I'd play that every day. I'd lose 100 pounds walking around to the local.
Yeah, man. You like level up your character. Oh my God!
I'll tell you what, and our love the AR stuff, right? Like we were
Yeah.
at Wegmans looking for a monster, and she found one, and she zapped it, and she loved it. She's like, "Let's go find another one." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, kiddo. There's no more on the map, right? There's no more." She's like, "Let's walk around." I'm like, "Oh my god, this is the worst idea I ever had."
I don't know if you can do it on Wizards again. I haven't played it enough to know, but the seems the similarities are all there. In Pokemon, if there's no monster or no Pokemon that appear near you, you can add a incense. So you pop like an item.
You can like attract
like a little cloud, and it attracts wild Pokemon to you. So it basically causes wild spawns to appear to you.
I'll be honest, I'm sure you could brew the potion, right? I guess whatever the concept is.
Yeah.
But I haven't really dug that deep into it because I'm trying to keep it light, as it's really like it looks like the kind of thing that I can really get into, and I find it hard to resist in-app purchases. So I'm like, let me just enjoy zapping a centaur.
I bought the intro pack for my team.
Did you the $2?
No. I threw the $9.99 like Gryffindor. Get your animated seal plus like some coins and whatnot, just to kind of like start the game. I figured if it's gonna be just as good as Pokemon Go, I'm probably gonna play it. And then I jumped on it because I saw like 20 people on my friends list like jump on it. I'm like, well, might as well enjoy it while the property's hot. You try to play it 3 weeks from now and everyone's lost interest. So
yeah, and I really just wanted to try it to see if now that it's summer, right? I come home when there's still sunlight outside. I'm like, maybe I can get R to go outside with me and we can explore our neighborhood together and do things together, right? Just because it's hard to get the kids outside anyway, but nobody lets their kids outside, right? So I thought this might be a fun way to do it. We've got a couple of churches and parks in the area. Maybe we can do that. And so I'm hoping, cross my fingers.
So speaking of D&D,
are you speaking about hopes and dreams? Is that what you're
speaking of hopes and dreams? Our resident D&D tabletop player DM that just finishes. I call myself a light. You are a heavier player than I am.
I am,
and heavily invested in Dwarven Forge. Has probably mentioned it that there is a Dwarven Forge Kickstarter going on right now.
There is
for the Hellscape. We've talked about this, I think, in 1 or 2 of our episodes prior. And
5 days left. Time's ticking for me.
5 days left. Let me tell you guys, we had a very intimate discussion before the show started about whether we should pull the trigger or not, and it's getting up there in price. But there's light panels that light up the lava. I mean, it's intense, man. The pack that we were looking at that would probably be the sweet buy-in, I think, is like
$785. Brutal.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like in the realm of Dwarven Forge, $785 for a buy-in. Like if you don't, I don't want to pitch them. I think their painted pieces are exquisite. I think they're luxurious.
No, pitch them by all means.
Like if you're the kind of hobbyist who likes the best things and wants to roll the best dice and wear the best gear, Dwarven Forge is of course the best. They're top of the line. I mean, they're the, I don't know. They're the Mad Cats. I can't even think of a brand that applies, but they're like
they would be like maybe the Razor or
the Razor. They're just this amazing, useful, hardcore luxury terrain piece you put on the table, and I think they're really changed the view on me. Yeah. I think they're really working to maintain. I don't want to say maintain their relevance, but continue to push the threshold on what that kind of terrain is worth, right? Because now a lot of nerds are getting into 3D printers. If you're the kind of person who puts tabletop in there, you should get yourself a 3D printer, right? And you can print these tile pieces and paint them yourself and put them on the table. So Dwarven Forge has to differentiate themselves from them, and that's what they're doing with this. If this is a sneak preview on what they're planning for the next 5 years or even 2 years, I mean, translucent pieces that light can shine through, right? That's a game changer for your table.
It's interesting because it's man, we've seen what the pieces look like when they're unpainted, and to make them just a kind of a clear resin or whatever they're using, dwarvenite or whatever they call it.
It's translucent dwarvenite. That's what it is.
Translucent dwarvenite. But it's isn't it transparent aluminum, kind of like Star Trek at this point? But essentially, guys, honestly,
it's the brand name. It's translucent plastic, but it's
a resin. They're using like a resin-based thing. So like we've been we've been seeing the epoxy craze has been around for the past 5 years or whatnot, and people have been making like molds and whatnot. So that's what they're doing, is they're molding this stuff and like casting it in clear epoxy, and they're putting paint on top of it. But the parts are not. I mean, it's nothing. I'm not saying that these guys aren't amazing. They are. They're profiting and innovating.
They should be. Yeah.
They should be innovating in a field that someone else should have like come up with this, and they just happen to be the ones that just finally did it.
And they've always done it, right? So they innovated in the field with resin, I don't even know, 20 years. I remember drooling over these pieces as a teenager or a college kid. And then I had some disposable income. I've invested heavily, and now, you know, they've got the success of Kickstarter, and Kickstarter has probably changed the game for them. And I talk about Door and Forge a lot because I love them. And this
they're cool guys. Also, they're approachable. We've met them.
And we've met them. They're great. And I think like this hellscape is like the perfect boutique item, right? Like painting lava's hard, first of all, if you're not that good.
Yeah.
Translucent lava pieces would look amazing on any lighting, right? Even if it's not their proprietary sort of Door and Forge tile lighting, which they're doing. And like, who doesn't want to fight a fire giant on your table on a lava board, right? Like that's like, oh, it makes me 11 years old again, right? That's what I want to do. And this is the perfect, I think, a perfect price point. Seems crazy to say with an $800 purchase, but I think that if you want to have a quality encounter space on your table, you're looking at $500 to $600 of terrain pieces for the variability to keep making new encounters.
It is $500 to $600 if you don't have the mind or creativity to make something like this.
Yes, of course.
I'm not saying people can't make terrain this quality.
And people do.
And people do.
Time is money.
But time is money, guys. If you are us who have jobs
or a billion
the rich or disposable income, but we just don't have the time to sit down. We would spend 90% of our time, free time, making this terrain and none of it to play.
I did when I played 40K. Warhammer 40K for me back in 15 years ago, it was probably, I would say probably 20 days painting the miniatures, building terrain, and 1 day playing the game, right? That was your ratio.
Right.
The hobby was the hobby. And I gave that up. I still have the miniatures because I couldn't sell them all, but, I've switched to Door and Forge, and now I pretty much only think I should buy painted pieces. I have a bunch of Bones Reapers that I enjoy painting, and I've painted a few. In fact, I'm painting for my Star Wars campaign that my buddy Jordan's running. We just started that up. So, I don't know. I got 5 days to resist spending $800 and maybe spend $100, $150, right? I have a lot of Door and Forge. I'm not at the place now where I can spend $800.
My only problem, Door and Forge, if you ever get a whiff of this video, which you probably won't, but my only problem is I get it. I get it. I get it. This stuff's expensive to make or whatever.
Got to buy those steel cast eyes, yeah.
Yeah, I just I wish there was a better buy-in price for
dude. Something. Think about it, right? Like, if there was a better price, if like let's say the cost per piece went from $7 or $8 to $2, right, on the base set, on an intro set. All the nerds would do, God bless them, would be to buy 5 or 6 base sets. Right? If the price point was better for an intro set than the price point for a more detailed, they would just buy the base set a bunch of times.
No, I get it. I just, an example. I'm looking here at the Kickstarter, and this is, again, guys, if you want to follow along.
You covet those.
It's the fact that we go from like $79 unpainted for First Circle of Hell, which is a tiny room. It's like this much terrain.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's one single room, small room of an encounter with a hallway that comes out of it, or a path that comes out of it. It's beautiful. It's detailed. There's lava like river and
flowing. It's gorgeous.
Flowing, and it's fantastic. But that's all you get. And then the second one gives you that room plus a whole other room, an infernal cave, and what is it? Torrent of Torment is what they call it. It looks phenomenal. That one is awesome looking. But the price goes from $79 unpainted to $369 unpainted. So the jump there is
you're tripling your pieces, right?
Yeah, they should have been something in between, or maybe, I don't know.
Don't buy it unpainted. That's again. So
I know.
which means you're looking at $585 for the unpainted
$600
for the painted one.
Let's
Yeah,
be honest here, $600
because you got to pay for shipping. Yeah, $600.
So it goes from not even $150 to $600 in one jump.
$600 to play on the kind of table that Matthew Mercer plays on.
I got it.
And you got to treat yourself, right? You got to
treat yourself. Sure. Man, that's a heck of a treat.
It's good. I mean, like, you've seen my tables, man. You see my tables, right? Jaws hit the floor.
Yeah.
They come to play at my table. So it's I don't know. I mean, like, this was more of a therapy session, right? Because I God bless this guy. This is why I love Joe. I'm like, Joe, you got to talk me out of doing it. And Joe's like, I'm the wrong guy, man.
I'm the wrong guy.
Put it on your credit card, YOLO. That's what you should do.
We'll explain it to the wife later. She won't have to know.
No, that's if the job I'm applying for comes through, maybe I can get there in time, but we'll have to see. Right?
I'm excited for this job.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll announce it if anything comes out of it. I'm excited for it.
But yes, no, it's exciting. We'll see.
So anyway, we started with some great news about our kids and play games, and then what Daddy covets, right? So
speaking of Daddy covets again, just the last bit. Those are all the first, second, and second hell, $500 for the painted. Then comes the big bad boy, which is the one that we finally went. This is the one that you have to get, right? And this is $785
painted.
It only comes painted, and it comes with these light panels. These they're squares that light up, and they've got attached, so you can attach multiple kind of daisy chains, a bigger room or whatever, and that allows you to drop these pieces of lava on top of it. You hit the button, and then boom, all of it lights up. So you can't even do that without spending a minimum. Like the minimum buy-in for the light panels is $785.
$785. I mean, you could buy the light panels separately, but they're $50 each, or like $225 for a 5-pack.
I think it's the cheapest thing they got right now.
Yeah, which again, like if you have the time, you could probably build it yourself. They're LED strips. You just need the right size and the patience to put it together. And you can
time is money.
Time is money. And like the idea of, from my perspective, I would pay it, and I know it's the right scale,
size. You don't have to
size. I don't have to struggle. I can take it. I can take it out of my box and immediately play with it on my table, right? Which is what I'd love to do with those. I love to set them up after I get them, and
this type of terrain,
and Art can play with it, right? Like Connell, your kid can play with it. Connell can play with it, right? So like, I would trust it with Connell, right? And Ollie and R. Yeah, I mean, they'll bang it. They're hyperactive. They'll have a blast, and R can bang this up. Not the light panels probably, but the other stuff. I'll play with them.
So now that they've done this is the first one they've ever done with transparent escape. I wonder if they're going to go back and kind of reissue some of that other stuff. Like I would like to see that alien one with the green and the lava and the acid and whatever. Maybe.
That would be pretty cool. The next series is supposed to be outdoors, so they're going to expand that tree and forest one.
Oh my god! So they're going to go elven glowy.
So you're going to
have like light pipes coming through, so like mushrooms that light up.
Dude.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to buy into this one, so they invest in that technology, right? Because if this Kickstarter doesn't make the money they're hoping,
oh come on, man. Let's okay. Yes, you should buy into it. I'm going to tell you yes, just because.
No.
When we talk about how much they've made so far, what are they up to right now?
$800,000, and they get the big bump towards the end. I think they'll break $1 million.
They had a goal of $100,000.
So you lowball it on Kickstarter, right? There's a strategy to how you do it on Kickstarter.
Yes, but like Jesus, like so what? So what are you telling me? If they had only made 100,000, they wouldn't have made this? Like I don't
know. I mean, that's a lot of dies they're cutting there. A lot of steel dies and a lot of painting. I don't think they would be able to sustain it for it. They probably would have canceled it at like 90 if they didn't hit.
Okay. So this is logistically wise. As a logistics man,
it's also only a 2-week launch, right? So they're doing it quick, get all the money fast. Kick it off. This is. I think this is their test case for whether or not they can do small scale launches as opposed to the huge ones. Like this. Like here's why I think this is smart. $785 twice a year, right? Feels better to me than $1,900 once a year, right? Like in my head, even though it's the same amount of money almost. In my head, I feel like I can afford $600 every 6 months as opposed to $1,900 a year. Because it's just easier to get. It's easier to know when it's coming. save $800, 100,
Yeah,
$200
I
a month.
mean, yeah. I mean, even if it wasn't coming in like in a paycheck, you could drop it and then like hurt for a couple weeks until.
Yeah, well, like $1,900, you're like, oh, that's the mortgage and groceries and kids summer camp, right? That's
Right,
hard.
right.
That's a, and it's also hard to save that
Ramen,
much.
talk to the landlord, and you're staying home, kiddo.
Well, like for example, I'm like, well, I can dip into my PAX East fund for next year and hope I replenish it, right? That's what I would do.
Right.
What would essentially happen? And I need to sell those pins, man. That's what I need to do. I need to replenish my my emergency fund.
Hey, it happens. I mean, it can be done. I remember I sold my pin and I don't miss it.
Like I don't. They're just collecting dust in a bag. I gotta sell them. I gotta condo those suckers for some cashola.
Yeah. Speaking of,
so if you want to buy pins, I got pins. I got pins for days.
Oh, 30th anniversary, by the way.
Oh, very nice, very nice. 30th anniversary. That's awesome. Good deal.
Can't believe it.
So let's I think I'll do my update on Star Wars next week as we get 2 sessions under our belt. I'm interested.
Yeah. I want to hear a bit more on the RPG side of it.
Talk about next week.
We're gonna end this on a happier note, and a sad note at the same time. It's more of a little bit of both, just because communities are beautiful sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Communities are beautiful, and they could be some sad stuff. If you haven't been following along in the gaming news of any type of geek news right now, a specific YouTuber. His name is Etika. He's famous in the Smash scene. He's a big Nintendo fan. He's known for his like reaction videos while watching some of the launches and whatnot. He's a guy in New York. Fantastic attitude towards it all. He's very kind of funny, kind of a little bit of that shock culture, but not in the bad way, more in the like in your face kind of way. And he had been battling depression. Quite often. He'd had multiple videos and posts about it and how he'd kind of gone up and down through, and he's even had run-ins where, he's just out walking and, cops had attacked him and whatnot. Just kind of all sorts of like, not controversy, but he's definitely had his run-ins with like issues. Well, he, last weekend, put up his final video on YouTube, and it was literally a cell phone video of him like live streaming, walking through, and he was apologizing. Like he was apologizing for nothing. He was like, I'm sorry, I failed you guys, even though he's got 900,000 followers on YouTube, and he's obviously successful, but the brain is stupid. Depression is awful. It's something that we have no control over, chemical imbalances and whatnot. And it comes to the point where it shows to me that no matter how successful you think you are, how big a community you have, you still feel like you're a failure.
Yep.
And he hit a wall, and he signed off on the video. Obviously, people were concerned. People immediately were calling the police and saying, "Hey, go check on him. Go check on him. He lives in this area. Please look him up. This is his real name." He was not at his house. 2 days later, after that, police found a backpack and some of his belongings on the side of the bridge.
Sadly, confirmed his
today, as of Tuesday of this week, they confirmed they found him. So, guys, it's sad. I was expecting the worst, and the reason I'm talking about this kind of at the end, because you would think, why are you going to end it on a downer? It's a terrible, terrible story. But what's beautiful to me is, and I'm only doing this because I just think it's interesting in a weird way. Stuff like this, especially YouTubers, when someone passes away or commits suicide, the community can be toxic. And there has been a lot of toxicity, of course. Like who and whatever, and like deserve it, do whatever. No one deserves anything. It's awful. Any subhuman that would say something like that needs to go away.
They're not contributing to community. Anyway.
Not contributing to themselves, right? They're not contributing to anything. They're worthless. They're
takers,
right? I was expecting that kind of stuff, backlash of the community. That's not what happened. Big fellow others, Smash Brother players and community members have put strict bans on their channel of any type of like anything. They immediately get banned. So there's been lots and lots and lots of like no not this one, not today. And the outpouring has left, lots of fans mourning. A lot of beautiful videos have been put up. A lot of
artwork, a lot of tributes, a lot of good stuff coming out there. I mean, I wasn't aware of him. I wasn't a fan, but yeah. I mean, it's amazing to see that much love pour out.
Yeah. So again, it's one of those scenarios where I'm not, I don't know him enough, so I can only empathize in the community, knowing that if there's a lot of people I follow, and if something like this had happened to them, I'd be pretty devastated too. Just a lot of them. Akeem from Keemstar, he's known for Drama Alert on YouTube and whatnot. Even he put up, he was like, he's a GoFundMe for funeral services. He's got big followers, again, everyone's kind of pushing the, hey man, here's the suicide hotline, here's the life prevention lifeline, etc. Available 24 hours a day. Please contact them. Again, if I've got friends that have been in low places. I've got a specific individual that I'm constantly pinging, hey, you're still around? You still okay? How
sure, yeah. Reach out to your friends that need help, or even just reach out. Like a lot of times, when you're grappling with depression, you just need someone to reach out. You just need someone to give a call, and you can come right back from it. You can sort of find your way back from the deep darkness. And it's not it's not a tweet or a comment on their video. It's more of a direct sort of reach out. Hey, what's up? Let's hang out. I'm coming over. Coming over is a great
that. I will say from personal experience of other individuals that I know that are like this. If you know anybody, there are two big forms. One, the complete seclusion, when someone all of a sudden they disappear, they drop off the map, and they want to go into not hiding, but they just they go into their safe space, whatever. Check on those people, knock on their door, go over, take them out for dinner, get them out of that hole, because sometimes the brain keeps telling them to do things.
Or sit down and watch a movie instead of a board game
together. Yeah, play a board game or whatever. And the other ones are, and this happens a lot with people like this, who was very, in your face with the videos. And then you've got people like Robin Williams, for example, who was like, I'm going to make comedy. They're the people that are constantly laughing and making jokes and whatnot.
Also a gamer.
Also a gamer.
Robin Williams is a gamer.
Exactly. So people that you wouldn't expect it. They talk about the next movie they're going to watch. They're going to talk about the games that's coming out next week. And all of a sudden, poof, they're gone. And they're like, well, what just happened? And it leaves you with a sense of anger where how are you doing this? How did you leave when you were so excited for this next week? It's because the brain doesn't care. When the brain says you got to do this, it does it. No matter, even if they're talking in forward thinking motion, where you're like, but they were talking about going into this next week. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, it'll shut you down. So love each other. We always say this at the end, right? Be kind to each other, love each other, reach out. And if you're struggling with it, definitely know you're not alone, right? We all suffer from depression in our way, some worse than others, right? I don't claim to feel as bad as some folks out there, but it's definitely something we can all
relate to in some way.
We can all relate to in some way, and definitely
the geek community. I don't want to say that it's a common thing with the geek community, but as geeks, we attach ourselves to these fantasy worlds to kind of get a release of the real world problems. And
I wonder also if it's sort of because the geek community is so prominent right now, it seems like something that is a problem we have, not a problem, issue we face. But because we're open about it, right? We post about it, we talk about it on Imgur or Reddit or 4chan or all of our channels that we discuss it and expose it and bring it up, and embrace it in our memes, right? We definitely, the darkness is there. We want to laugh at that darkness. So,
right.
And it's just because I don't want to say we're, but the geek culture is definitely dominant, right? So I wonder if if jock culture was dominant, if they struggled with it, but maybe they don't talk about it. They don't joke about it as much as we do. So
we definitely have a different approach. We're definitely a loving community. We like the minutia of things, and because of that, the geek community is very predominant with the LGBTQ community. Other types of communities have kind of meshed together. We mesh well, and there are hardships in all forms of life, and because of that, sometimes it's nice to hang out with people, but at the same time, there are moments of darkness for everybody. And so again, hug your friends, hug your loved ones. You know anybody who has dealt with depression, just keep an eye on them. You know, don't be afraid to be that person where like, oh, well, I don't want to bother them. No, go knock on that door. Go.
Yeah.
They'll
Be
appreciate
kind.
it in the long run.
Yep. Be kind. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others, right?
So guys, again, not a downward. I'm trying to just more like the love.
We love you. All of our listeners out there, we love you. Reach out, comment, talk. Let us know what you want to talk about, because we're always happy to talk.
Absolutely, guys. All right, guys. So music for guys and gals. Absolutely.
I'm going to correct you every time.
You keep doing that to me because it's the truth. It's a Texas thing. Guys,
it's a Texas thing.
It really is. It's a Southern thing.
Misogyny is a Texas thing. Yes.
I know. It's a Southern thing. When you say like guys, you're expecting.
Let's go y'all or folks.
Y'all.
Up to non-gender. Yeah.
Non-gender conformity.
There you go.
Absolutely. So yes, y'all, everybody, guys, ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe, share, hug your loved ones.
Be kind. Right. Be kind. Love each other.
All right, guys. Comment. Have a good one, guys. Episode 35. In the camps. Love you.
Yeah.